8th Pay Commission, a story of salaries, pensions, and expectations. Just imagine. A government employee who wakes up early every morning, sends the children to school, and takes a crowded bus or train to the office. He spent his entire day buried in files, solving people's problems, yet even when the month ends and the salary arrives, he feels no relief, because inflation is racing much faster than his income. Milk, vegetables, school fees, rent, everything has gone up. And then, one day, the news breaks. The government has initiated the process for the 8th Pay Commission. In that moment, a wave of joy spreads across countless homes. It's not just news about a pay hike, it's news of hope, of security, of recognition for the hard work that fuels the nation's system. The 8th Pay Commission, or 8th Central Pay Commission, instantly catches the attention of nearly 5 million central government employees and about 7 million pensioners across India. Formed once every decade, this commission isn't just an administrative formality. It's a moment that decides the financial future of millions of families. The central government has now officially approved its formation and defined its terms of reference, that is, its scope of work. This means the commission will now begin its review, analyzing how much salary should rise, how pensions should be revised, and whether the allowances given to employees are fair and justified. To put it simply, every pay commission performs an X-ray of the government's pay structure. It examines whether the current salaries and pensions align with the country's economic condition, inflation rates, and the actual cost of living. The commission also studies the gap between public and private sector pay and explores how that gap can be minimized. The goal isn't merely to increase salaries, it's to create an economic balance where government employees can live with dignity without putting an unbearable financial burden on the government. The 8th Pay Commission will be a 3-member temporary body consisting of a chairperson, a part-time member, and a secretary. The commission is expected to submit its final report within 18 months. And if required, it may also present an interim report midway. Going by past trends, it is anticipated that its recommendations could come into effect from January 1, 2026. Each pay commission typically operates on a 10-year cycle. And after the 7th Pay Commission, that cycle is now beginning once again. The benefits of this commission will not be limited to officers sitting in ministries and central offices. It will extend to every citizen connected with the central government, including personnel from the defense forces, railway employees, Central Armed Police Forces, CAF, and lakhs of workers in autonomous institutions. Not just that, retired pensioners will also benefit, since their pensions will be revised according to the new pay structure. Now comes the question echoing in every employee's mind: will the salary increase this time? The answer is yes, and it's almost certain. After every pay commission's recommendations, the basic pay of employees sees an upward revision. The last time, under the 7th Pay Commission, salaries were determined using a fitment factor of 2.57. This time, employees are expecting that ratio to rise to 3 or even higher. If that happens, it would mean a salary hike of nearly 20 to 30%. Just imagine, if an employee's current basic pay is 30,000, then with a fitment factor of 3, it could increase to about 90,000. In other words, a monthly increase of 10,000 to 15,000 in take-home salary. For senior officials, the rise could go up to 50,000 per month. That's why there's a wave of anticipation and excitement across the country. Because every pay commission, in a way, brings with it a new dawn of hope for millions of families. This is also a major relief for pensioners. Whenever a new pay commission is implemented, pensions are recalculated accordingly. This means that retired employees too receive additional benefits based on their length of service and the newly revised pay scales. However, for the government, this process isn't easy because it significantly increases the financial burden. Currently, Nearly 28% of the Union government's total budget is spent on salaries, pensions, and allowances. After the 8th Pay Commission, this figure could rise further, adding an estimated to 2-3 lakh crore in additional expenditure. But this burden, in reality, is also an investment. When salaries increase, employees' purchasing power rises. They spend more, which boosts market demand, drives business growth, and ultimately, through tax revenue, much of that money returns to the government. That's why, after the implementation of every pay commission, India's GDP growth typically sees a temporary surge. The process of the pay commission is highly systematic. First, the commission seeks suggestions from various ministries, departments, organizations, and employee unions. Meetings are held with staff representatives, where every category of employees presents its concerns and expectations. After carefully analyzing all the data, the Commission prepares a detailed report covering the proposed pay scales, allowances, and pension structure for every grade. This report is then submitted to the Finance Ministry, which, after its own review, forwards it to the Union Cabinet. Once the Cabinet gives its approval, the official notification is released, and from that moment, the new pay structure comes into effect across the country. For state government employees, this announcement is also a ray of hope. Most states eventually adopt the central government's recommendations with minor modifications. Although it may take a few months for states to implement it, they too extend the SAM benefits to their employees. Workers don't need to apply individually. Once the central notification is issued, state governments initiate the implementation process at their own level. But this entire process isn't just about increasing salaries. It's also about maintaining a deeper psychological balance. When a government employee feels that their hard work is being valued, it brings a renewed sense of motivation. Their morale rises, and so does their efficiency. This isn't merely a pay hike. It's the restoration of dignity and respect. However, this time, the government faces no small challenge. Global slowdown, inflation, and fiscal discipline, these three factors create a tough equation for any administration. Hence, the 8th Pay Commission will not just test the government's generosity, but its ability to balance. The government must ensure that while salaries rise, inflation and fiscal deficit remain under control. Dearness allowance, DA, is the most critical element in this entire equation. Currently, employees receive a DA increase every 6 months, based on the Consumer Price Index, CPI. However, the Commission may also consider whether this structure needs to be improved, perhaps making it annual, or introducing a new formula that considers both inflation and productivity. The review of allowances will also be a major part of the Commission's work. In the 7th Pay Commission, out of 196 allowances, 51 were abolished and 37 were revised. The 8th Commission is also expected to review travel allowance, house rent allowance, HRA, children's education allowance, and other special benefits. The goal will be to determine which allowances remain relevant and which have become outdated. At the same time, there will also be a focus on dearness relief, DR, for pensioners, ensuring that their pensions keep pace with the rate of inflation. The Commission may even propose stronger policies for family pension and health allowances, so that senior citizens can live with greater stability and security. So far, India has had 7 pay commissions, and each one has left a significant mark on the country's economic structure. The first commission in 1946 laid the foundation for the pay structure of government service in independent India. The second and third commissions introduced the concept of dearness allowance, DA, to help employees cope with inflation. The fifth commission created special provisions for the armed forces. The sixth introduced the concept of grade pay. And the seventh implemented the pay matrix in a digital format for greater transparency. Now, expectations are high from the 8th Commission that it will bring a new, technology-driven model where employees' salaries automatically adjust with changes in inflation and GDP growth. If that happens, there may no longer be a need to form a new commission every 10 years. This could evolve into what's called a dynamic pay adjustment system, already adopted in several modern economies. Under this model, salaries are directly linked to inflation rates and economic productivity, ensuring a natural balance between employees' income and the nation's growth. At the moment, discussions across the country revolve around a few key questions. What will the fitment factor be? Will HRA increase? How much will pensions rise? Millions of families are waiting for the Commission's report, as it represents one of the most important financial milestones in their lives. But it's also crucial to remember that this entire process isn't just about money. It's about trust. It's about the faith that connects the government and its employees. When an employee feels that their hard work has been recognized, they serve with greater dedication. That mutual trust is what forms the foundation of a strong and stable nation.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestions. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources, news from various news agencies, opinion polls and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.